Okay, so I am looking for the issue that's causing the lights to go on my dash from this groundhog that was underneath the hood. And let me show you what the lights look like first. Okay, this is exactly what it looks like. I don't even have to have the engine on. It's the same. The red lights are gone when the engine's on. But traction control, ABS, like they're not functioning. And then four-wheel low is blinking. As you can see, I've got it in four-wheel high, and unfortunately that's where it was when this groundhog got in there overnight. Because I know one night it was working fine. I drove it out. Next morning, after I saw the groundhog the night before, didn't realize it was a groundhog, thought it was a squirrel. Got in there, and then the next morning, this was a week ago, the lights are blinking, and I cannot, no matter, even if I turn this knob, it will not do anything. It doesn't turn out of four-wheel high, so I can't get in a two-wheel drive, so I cannot make tight turns, unfortunately. So my guess is it's something in the wiring, and it knows it. That's why it shows those lights even before I turn the engine on. I looked around, I can't see anything, but I want to document everything in case somebody out there has a keen eye and can tell me. One thing I did notice is that there's this connector right here, and this connector appears to have something to plug it into, but it's not there. I don't know if it's because for testing purposes or if something was there that was removed, because if it was removed, then that would be it. I just don't know where it goes. You can see there's nothing on this side. There's no electrical wires on this side. I did see the groundhog living in these areas here behind the headlights, and I don't really see anything in these areas. I don't think there's any wires, but if there are wires supposed to be in these areas besides headlight bulbs, that may be affected. I just don't know. Same thing on the passenger side. I don't know if you see anything in there. See, there's something down there. See that? Looks to be intact though. It was definitely in on this side too, living down in here. Let me know if you see anything there. Here is the wiring coming off the brake, booster, some other wires, main wires out of the firewall. They don't appear to be damaged. I don't think there's be anything in here. Nothing could get in here. But another area where the groundhog was spending time was right in between the battery and the headlight wires. Some of those look a little frayed, like claws got in there. But if it's just see that? If it looks like if it's just headlight wires, nothing else, I guess it wouldn't be that. But anything else you see here, let me know. This looks loose, but it also appears to be just one wire, unless there's supposed to be two wires there. I don't know. Looks like you've got some claws on that. If you see anything in here, engine, I wouldn't suspect anything on the engine, but something to do with the traction control, something to do with the brakes, I would suspect. Something to do with the four-wheel drive front differential, I would suspect. Here's the view on the passenger side. Not too many wires over here. There are a few things. Again, there's headlight wires. I know this groundhog was scattering around in here. There are, I think this is the ABS controller right here. Yes, ABS is out, it looks like. But it looks like the wires are okay from what I can see. Going into the ABS controller. Doesn't look to be any issues there. What's that? What is that? It's just some dirt, I think. More wires. Again, let me know if you see anything here. This is up against the engine. You see where we are? And all around this area here. Don't see anything. Let's get up underneath and take a look. I removed the skid plate from the front. Skid plate is off. So let's take a look up under here. All right, and you can see the oil filter, some lines running to it. Let me know if any of that looks weird. Don't know. Like I said, the main question I saw was something, that wire up in front of the radiator, but maybe that's for testing purposes. You can see, since I have this thing removed, you can see up in this area, I don't think there's supposed to be any wires there. Everything looks fine. And then back in here, there's like a controller for the front differential on the 4-wheel drive. Here is the wiring and such for the driver's side front brake. That's driver's side. This is passenger side. Oops, got a little refraction in there. Try to get that out. Okay, that's passenger side. And you got your blade of grass. It doesn't seem like anything's wrong here. Everything seems to be okay. All right, so let's go back and look at this, the 4-wheel drive front differential. I want to get up underneath here and take a look. All right, so trying to get a good shot. This is the front differential. These are the wires that are attached. Trying to get a shot. I think I'm too close. See if you can see any of that stuff. It looks to all be intact to me. That's the passenger side. And over here is the driver's side. All right, now this is the transmission. I'll move back a little further. I'm seeing a little bit of damage, it looks like, on the sensor that goes to the catalytic converter on the driver's side. I don't know if anything's wrong with this. It looks a little damaged, but I don't think this is part of the ABS or the 4-wheel drive. This is more view of wires where the transmission meets the engine. And this is looking on the driver's side. Okay, scooting back a little further, here is the transfer case and the wiring that goes up to the transfer case. If anything looks out of the ordinary here or not. Another view of the transfer case wiring. Doesn't look like anything's wrong with this, but it's just me. Okay, looking at the transfer case, I see some more wiring here, which all appears to be intact. This is on the driver's side. I don't know what that is. Fuel pump, maybe? Or fuel pump relay or ABS in the rear? I don't know. Here's the wiring on the driver's side, rear drum brake. Here's the wiring, and goes all the way across. Seems to be okay. On the rear, over to the passenger side, rear drum brake. Another look at the wiring on the passenger side, rear drum brake. And you can see, seems to be intact. There's a view looking from the back up to the front. That's the transfer case right there. Another transfer case view from the back to the front. Here you can see wiring up in the back bumper, brakes, trailer brakes, brake lights. These kind of things seems to be fine. This is the very back passenger side. This is the very back driver's side. This is looking from behind the rear axle. I'm gonna disconnect the battery. I've done this before, but worth a try. Maybe because I know that the groundhog's gone now. And I didn't know before it was still in there. Maybe it'll reset. I doubt it, but we'll try. All right, I reconnected the battery, but it looks like it's still there. We'll start it up just to be sure. I don't want the doors open, see, but you can see. ABS, traction control, and it will not shift out of 4-wheel drive high. The transfer case is not operating. I see there's one other thing. I can lift this up. And don't see anything specific under here. Unless you do, please let me know. And the headlights do work, even though that one wire is frayed on the driver's side. like I mentioned, this is the one thing I'm not sure of. Right down in here. It looks like it's not covered up. Like maybe something should have been plugged in there that got ripped out. I don't know.